If you like whipped cream on top of fruits, ice cream, and other delicacies, you might be tempted to give it to your pet. But before adding new food to your canine's diet, you need to know whether it's safe for it to consume. This is because not all human foods can be given to our pets. Yes, dogs can consume whipped cream. But if your dog overeats it, it might be harmful. So it's not recommended to give your pet too much whipped cream. And it should only be given as an occasional treat. Also, while some dogs tolerate whipped cream, some can't tolerate any dairy products and are lactose intolerant. In this case, your canine can't eat whipped cream. Why is whipped cream harmful to dogs? Dairy products such as whipped cream contain lactose, a type of sugar that isn't easily digested by the dog's digestive system. This is because many dogs are lactose intolerant, they don't have the enzyme needed to digest lactose. So whenever ingested in large amounts, it may cause several digestive problems. Now, let's look at the risks of overfeeding dogs whipped cream. Weight gain. Whipped cream contains too many saturated fats and sugars that might result in significant weight gain. It's important to note that obesity in dogs is significantly more widespread than most people realize. Diabetes. You should be concerned about more than the weight gain. With more pounds, an increased risk of diabetes comes along. Unfortunately, when dogs eat whipped cream, their blood sugar levels will skyrocket. If this becomes a frequent occurrence, your canine friend may develop diabetes. Diarrhea. If you feed your dog whipped cream in large amounts, it might suffer from diarrhea. This could also happen if your dog's diet consists primarily of dry kibble and you suddenly add this treat. Excessive bloating. Whipped cream's airy and fluffy texture is due to the presence of air. So your dog is swallowing a lot of air as it consumes this treat. As a result, there's a major danger of bloat if it overeats it. Bloat is much more than just a buildup of gas, it has the potential to be lethal. In severe situations, the stomach may spasm and collapse in on itself. This reduces ventilation and puts strain on your dog's other organs. Dental issues. We've all heard about what happens to your teeth when you eat too many sweets. Unfortunately, your dog faces the same dangers. So while whipped cream is delicious, its sugar levels can cause a variety of dental problems such as tooth decay and periodontal disease. Sugar expedites this process by generating damaging acids in your dog's mouth. Whipped cream poisoning in dogs. As previously mentioned, lactose intolerant dogs should avoid whipped cream. And in general, your furry friend shouldn't overeat it even if it doesn't have a dairy allergy. But what will happen if you find your dog eating whipped cream in large amounts? In most circumstances, the condition will resolve itself once your dog naturally expels the nasty food. However, you should expect a few bouts of vomiting and diarrhea. So monitor its condition for at least 24 hours, and if it doesn't improve, take your pet to the veterinarian as soon as possible. It's also critical to determine whether the whipped cream your dog consumed included any hazardous chemicals. Flavors like vanilla, chocolate, coffee, and lemon can be toxic to dogs. Plus, if your dog is diabetic, any sugary treat it has consumed can be highly toxic. How can you safely feed whipped cream to your dog? As a dog owner, you need to be aware of how much whipped cream is given to your dog. This is because your canine friend will just enjoy eating whipped cream, whatever the amount you provide. It even might lick too fast and choke, so it's your responsibility to always monitor your dog. Moreover, the problem with whipped cream is that it's often too sweet. So start by using it as a topping for a dessert. As for the amount, you might want to start by giving your dog the equivalent of a spoonful of whipped cream and find out how its tummy reacts. Also, when considering this treatment for your dog, it's best to check the product's label. It's important to see the sugar and fat content because some whipped cream products may contain high levels of these nutrients, which might not be good for your pet. Note that the daily fat requirements for a 30-pound medium-sized dog are roughly 14 grams. 1 cup of canned whipped cream includes slightly more than 13 grams of fat, which is nearly enough to meet your dog's daily fat requirements. So when an apparently harmless delicacy is ingested on a frequent basis, it can have serious health repercussions. Homemade whipped cream recipe. If you're looking to introduce a new healthy food into your pup's diet, you should try this homemade coconut whipped cream recipe. It can be used as a topping on your dog's food or as a standalone snack. This recipe contains essential nutrients, has a delicious taste, is free of sugar, salt, and other preservatives, and will be a great way to reward your pet for good behavior. In addition, you'll only need 1 can of coconut milk. Drinking coconut milk can't be used because it's thin for this recipe. So now, follow these instructions. Fill a bowl with the liquid and solid contents of a can of coconut milk. Mix vigorously with a fork or a small whisk until the particles are evenly distributed throughout the liquids. Your finished product should be foamy. To ensure that your cream holds its shape, chill it overnight. When you're ready to whip the coconut, give it another short swirl for best results. Fill your whipped cream machine's canister halfway with coconut milk and tighten the cover. Shake the coconut milk with the whipped cream carefully. Are there any whipped cream substitutes for dogs? Aside from whipped cream, you may give other healthier treats to your dog. They're as follows. Fruit yogurt. It's pleasant and sweet without the use of sugar. Fruit yogurt is also easily digestible for dogs. Peanut butter. This is a super tasty and high-calorie dog treat. It's also high in proteins, monounsaturated fats, and vitamins B and E, but always read the label to confirm that the peanut butter contains no xylitol. Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt contains a lot of probiotics. Probiotics are microorganisms that help with digestion and lessen food sensitivities. Fruit mash. You may also mash dog-friendly fruits to produce a tasty, healthful treat. Bananas, pumpkins, apples, and pineapples are great places to begin. Cottage cheese. Because it contains very little lactose, this fermented cheese is excellent for lactose-intolerant dogs. It also contains a lot of protein and calcium. Is homemade whipped cream any good? Yes, it's a great idea. If you wish to prepare homemade whipped cream, you may reduce the fat and sugar amount as you wish. This is a simple process, and whipping up a batch of whipped cream takes around 5 minutes. All you need to do is make sure the heavy cream you use in your recipe has little to no sugar and a low fat level. This may taste insipid to you, but your dogs won't notice. Is almond milk whipped cream safe for dogs? Dogs may consume almond milk whipped cream as long as they're not allergic to almonds. However, always verify the ingredients to ensure that it doesn't include xylitol. Is coconut whipped cream safe for dogs? As long as it doesn't include xylitol, coconut milk whipped cream is healthy for dogs. You should also check the sugar content of this treat before feeding it to your dog. Can dogs eat sweetened whipped cream? Yes, but make sure it's free of xylitol. However, keep in mind that you should limit the amount of sweetened whipped cream in your dog's diet because of its sugar content. Can dogs eat Cool Whip? As long as your furry friend isn't lactose intolerant, it can enjoy eating Cool Whip as a fun treat from time to time. However, it may cause diarrhea and hyperactivity in dogs. Also, you should always check its ingredients to make sure there are no toxic preservatives. Is vegan whipped cream safe for dogs? The liquid from canned chickpeas, known as aquafaba, is used to make the majority of vegan whipped cream. This is safe for dogs to consume. Of course, no xylitol containing whipped cream should be fed to your dog. Is it possible to take your dog to Starbucks for a puppuccino? Starbucks sells a puppuccino, which is a little cup of whipped cream that contains no coffee, tea, or caffeine. So because a small amount of whipped cream is safe for healthy dogs, there's no harm in allowing your pet to enjoy a puppuccino every now and then. However, it's not recommended for lactose intolerant dogs. As you can see, dogs can eat whipped cream but in moderation. So you should monitor the amount and frequency of intake. Also, make sure you buy a healthy product because some are laden with chemicals, excessive sugar, and other undesirable ingredients that may be hazardous to dogs. It's always recommended that you serve your pet friend homemade whipped cream. This way, you'll be sure that it doesn't include any toxic substances.